Can't say the same thing every single time. Can't say the same thing every single time. Your response has to be different, fresh, new. Someone's explanation has to be different. It has to be more well thought out. It has to be real. This is your timeless general read for wherever you have Cancer in your chart. I have decided that we'll do extended readings if one is called for. You know, sometimes all that really needs to be said is said, and an extended is not required. That being said, if it will be announced in the read if there's going to be an extended, and the link to that will be in the description box below. So, heard it all before. Same old mistakes, same old excuses. When are we going to talk about what's really going on? When are we gonna talk about what's really real? And we get the world. So travel could be on the mind, could be on the horizon, but what I think this world card is about is this is the Hermetic, but I'm picturing the Rider-Waite, where the woman just has her arms wide open, and it's just like the ultimate signal of vulnerability and openness. I'm not a body language expert, but I think when someone has their arms wide open, it's very inviting. They aren't covering their vital organs. They aren't shielding themselves. They are unguarded. And I think that maybe that's what you're looking for from some people right now, or perhaps this is the energy that you are exhibiting. Yes, it could be that you are willing and able to communicate, to do, to accept what comes your way. You're open to it. Your energy is very receptive. And yes, this could also be that what you're looking for in someone else, what you've been waiting for. They would have to be pretty open. They would have to be pretty willing and able to be real, to be honest with you, to get naked with you. And I don't mean just getting naked by taking off their clothes. I mean just allowing their emotions to show, their flaws and all. You want this from them, you who are someone that embraces that lives for that has a lot of respect for that. You might find that it's what is lacking in some of your relationships, especially if you're dealing with an earth sign. Or we could be talking about your coworkers or your bosses. But there is an unwillingness to share here. An unwillingness to divulge information, and unwillingness to practice good housekeeping, to be a good steward of resources, whether that's information, guidance, advice, or straight up, it could be money, property, food. You're dealing with people who are stingy, obsessed with material items, and it's like there's no room for compassion. There's no time to talk about feelings. We know you don't operate that way. Five of Swords, it gets very you get pretty sharp if you feel like you can't, like certain topics are off limits, or that you're dealing with people or dealing with someone who lacks emotional depth. They didn't believe in you. It's not that they didn't believe in you, they don't have faith in your ability. There's someone who doesn't see you for who you are. They don't understand you. One more. We got two. I'm hearing regulators. That's a Warren G song. Check that out. Yeah, that song definitely has October energy. If you listen to it, you'll get what I'm talking about. Put your hands where my eyes can see them. There is this energy of oversight, charging the reed, this need to regulate, this need to set the record straight, to fix what is broken. And so many of you are willing and able and capable you have quite a bit of know-how, and you're willing to do the hard work. You're willing to be generous with your time and energy. And there might not be a lot of reciprocity when it comes to that. I do think that there are some who allow you to give and give and give to the point that they kind of expect you to give and give and give, and there's not much that changes in their behavior. They fail to see the reason behind why you give. You are seen as this source of something unlimited. Your energy fills up the room. It's vast, it's superfluous, it restores, it recharges. But you're not an ATM. You are not an emotional ATM. They can't just come up to you and swipe their card and get a reaction out of you, or get some kind of nourishment or energy or fuel from you. It's like you don't give for no reason. You don't show up that way for no reason. I think that you understand that certain constructs, especially if we're talking about relationships, they require a consistent amount of effort. They require a consistent amount of presence. And there are some who I feel rebel or run at the thought of having to stand alone. Being able to be self-sufficient is a necessity. It's not a choice. And that's for everyone involved. I do think that there is a risk here, if it hasn't already happened, of someone becoming really codependent on your energy and relying on your influence, relying on you to always be there, relying on you to always pick up the pieces to make their bullshit work, to keep up with the Joneses and keep up the facade, to continue to live the lie. But I get the feeling that they are sadly mistaken. They are sadly mistaken because I don't see you doing that here. Somebody gets the rug pulled out from under them. There is a rude awakening that happens here. And it may be coming by your own hand, or it may be, you may just be proved right by the way that things unfold. So I don't get that, vengeance has to be yours here. You will be vindicated and your hands will be clean. It's like someone will, through living their life, through experiencing, through having to lay in the bed that they have made for themselves, your point will be made. I'm thinking of a personality type here, of someone who is very obstinate. They are hard to get through to. They have an answer for everything. And it's like, okay, I'm not talking to you about these things because I want to argue with you or because I want to be right. It's like you're trying to get them to see your side or to see the light, to it's like this is the priority. Focus on this. So it's like you're trying to reel them in. This is how you should be thinking about it, not that way. And it's not really about you policing people or telling them how to think. It's just there is a mindset shift that needs to happen. There is a way that someone is approaching something, thinking about something, talking about something that is counterproductive to the success that they're chasing. I think that you can see this particular flaw. I think that you have named it, maybe in your past, and perhaps it's something that you have once tamed. I find that most who are receptive emotionally or willing to talk about certain things, it's because they have some kind of experience with it, and they have, rather than running from the feeling, they have grown through it. They have learned to allow it to make them stronger, to mold them into who they are. And I get that many of you are these people, and therefore you are unafraid to talk about certain things or to tell someone about themselves, or exactly to call them out on exactly what they're doing. So I'm being told here that it's not all bad. Like, there are other situations that are happening at the same time. I do think that there are some high points that are entertaining, and I think that they come in the form of love interests, or maybe a lot of compliments on your appearance, or compliments on your demeanor, compliments. They're very kind words that people have to say about your generosity of spirit and about your jovial nature. One thing about you all, you are going to maintain like you know how to take care of your house and home, you know how to run your business. There are some things that you intuitively know. You intuitively know what the right thing to do is. It's a basic instinct for you. I hope none of you are trying to kill your husband. Very quiet. something really wants to come out here. It's interesting, we said I'm very quiet and I am not a mind reader comes out. So we got, how do you do the things that you do? East, pleasure, business. So business and pleasure, you get to have both, the best of both worlds. Isolation, ego, that was in reverse. The number 9, the answer to a question that you had is no. Libra, the month of May, could definitely be dealing with a Taurus or a Gemini. January, March, the number 6, I am not a mind reader. This was your read. I truly hope that you all enjoyed this, got something from it. If you got all that you were looking for from a tarot read, then I look forward to seeing you when the mood strikes to get another one. I would like to encourage you to take a look at any of the other titles that stand out to you. All the reads are timeless, even the ones that have a date on them, a specific month and year. Even though it was done at that time, it's because it's all, at least how I read intuitively, and it doesn't always follow the astrology. Sometimes it does. Sometimes I'll get into my astrology bag and talk about the transits, but primarily it's intuitive. So it really could apply to any time that you watch it. If the title sticks out to you, I'm fairly confident that there's something in that read for you. If you approach it with an open mind and an open heart and understand that it is only meant to help and to offer insight. If you enjoy this content, I invite you to subscribe for more from The Way Out. I'm also on Apple Podcasts. Check out the pod if you'd like. It's called The Way Out Podcast. And also that's on Spotify podcasts and Podvine as well. Eventually we'll be worldwide as we grow and our beautiful community expands. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one.